Buying a home in southern Italy is one of those ideas that sounds like a movie montage. You, a small espresso, a sea view, and a charming little place that just needs love. And it can absolutely be that. But there's a parallel universe where the charming little place turns into a 3-year paperwork quest. The sea view comes with a landslide risk, and the just needs love means you accidentally bought half a storage shed that can't legally be lived in. So today we're talking about the biggest mistakes foreigners make when buying property in southern Italy, and how to avoid becoming the main character of a very expensive sitcom. This isn't a doom and gloom episode, it's the opposite. If you know what to watch for, southern Italy can be an incredible place to build a new life. You just need to buy smart, not romantic. Let's start with the universal trap. Mistake number 1. Buying with your heart and not your checklist. Southern Italy is built to seduce you. The light, the food, the villages, the random old man who waves at you like you've been friends since 1997. You walk into a stone house and you can already see your future. Olive trees, a little terrace, maybe a dog with a very Italian name like Giuseppe. And then reality shows up with a folder called documentation. In Italy, the property you see and the property on paper must match. Floor plans, category, intended use, permits. If you skip the checks, you can end up with a property that looks perfect but is legally complicated. Which brings us to mistake number 2, ignoring due diligence because the price is too good. When a listing looks unbelievably cheap, there are usually 3 reasons. 1. It needs serious work. 2. It has legal or compliance problems. 3. The unbelievable part is the listing. So yes, go for bargains. Just verify what kind of bargain it is. In Italy, due diligence is not optional, it's survival. Here's what due diligence actually means in normal human terms. You want to confirm who owns the property and that they truly have the right to sell it. There are no debts, liens, or legal disputes attached to it. The cadastral plan matches the real layout. Any renovations, extensions, balconies, small improvements, and surprise rooms were done legally. The property has the right status to be lived in. And if you plan to rent it out, you can do that legally too. That sounds intense, but it's basically one thing. Don't trust vibes, trust documents. Mistake number 3, assuming the agent is your advisor. In some countries, buyers think the agent is basically their guide through the process. In Italy, you need to understand something. The agent's job is to close a deal. That's not evil, it's just reality. A good agent is valuable, but your protection comes from independent professionals, a lawyer who works for you, and a technical expert, usually a geometra, architect, or engineer, who checks the property's compliance and condition. If you're relocating, this is especially important because you're not just buying a building, you're buying your future daily life, where you'll sleep, work, live, and solve problems in a language you might not fully speak yet. Mistake number 4, skipping the technical inspection. If you're buying a newish apartment in a city, the risks are different. But southern Italy's magic often lives in older properties, stone houses, rural homes, historic town centers. Those places can hide surprises. Typical surprises include damp and humidity you won't notice during a sunny viewing. Old wiring that's technically alive, but spiritually not okay. Roof issues. Water pressure that behaves like it's on a coffee break. Septic systems that are older than your entire career. Structural issues, especially in seismic areas. You don't want to find these out after you sign. A proper inspection costs money, but skipping it is how people turn a cheap house into a high-budget drama. Mistake number 5, underestimating the true cost of buying. People budget for the purchase price and maybe some fees. Italy loves fees. The notary, registration, taxes, sometimes agency fees on both sides, and then utilities set up, plus renovation, plus the stuff you didn't know you had to fix until the electrician made a face. A safe mindset. Assume your total cost will be the purchase price plus a serious percentage on top, and then add a buffer for Italy. Because Italy doesn't do quick and clean. Italy does beautiful and eventually. Now let's talk about region-specific traps, because Southern Italy isn't one market. It's 5 different personalities wearing the same sunshine. Let's start with Calabria. Calabria mistake number 1. Buying from afar. Calabria has insane value compared to other regions. That's the hook. But Calabria is also where buying remotely can go very wrong, because photos can hide a lot, and some sellers assume foreigners won't know what to look for. If you're buying in Calabria, you want to see the property in person and ideally visit the neighborhood at different times. You also want to understand infrastructure. Some villages are quiet in a romantic way. Others are quiet in a where did everyone go way. Also, winter. People imagine southern Italy as endless summer. Calabria can get cold and damp in winter, especially in older stone homes that were not designed for modern comfort. If your plan is to live there year-round, check heating, insulation, humidity, and how the house behaves when it's not postcard weather. Calabria mistake number 2. Trusting glossy development promises. There have been real cases where foreign buyers were pulled into off-plan projects with big promises, amazing views, big returns, and then the project collapses under legal problems. The lesson isn't don't buy. The lesson is, if someone promises easy profit in a region where bureaucracy is a lifestyle, step back and verify everything. Next, Puglia. Puglia mistake number 1, not checking what's legally living space. Puglia is where people fall in love with trulli, masserie, and countryside villas. It's also where foreigners sometimes discover that the property on paper says one thing and the property in reality says something else. For example, part of the building might be registered as a deposito, basically a storage space, not a residence. That means it's not legally habitable. But it has a bed and a nice lamp. Doesn't matter to paperwork. Italy respects paperwork more than vibes. So in Puglia, it's critical to check the cadastral category and the official plans. If something is registered wrong, fixing it can be possible, or it can be a slow, expensive process. Don't assume it's just for taxes. Confirm what it means before you buy. Puglia mistake number 2. Assuming you can easily extend, add a pool, or build something cute. You'll hear stories about piano casa rules, extensions, and regional incentives. They exist in different forms, but they change, and local councils interpret them differently. Your neighbor's cousin's friend might have added an extension in 2019. That does not mean you can in 2026. If your dream depends on adding a pool or building an extra unit for guests, treat that as a separate feasibility project. You check it with a technical professional before you sign anything. Now, Sicily. Sicily mistake number 1. Believing the listing description. Sicily is one of the most tempting places for foreign buyers. Beautiful towns, incredible food, and sometimes shockingly low prices. But Sicily is also famous for properties that look ready on paper and in photos, and then later you discover compliance gaps. If your plan is to live there, you need habitability. If your plan is to rent short-term, you need to comply with registration rules and local requirements. Sicily is not a sign and move-in environment unless the property has been properly modernized and verified. Sicily mistake number 2. The €1 house fantasy. I love the concept, and I love watching the videos. But here's the reality. €1 houses are rarely €1 projects. There are fees, paperwork, and usually a timeline obligation to renovate. And the renovation itself can be massive. Structural repairs, roof, plumbing, electrical, and the fun part where you discover the previous owner's creative architecture. And one more detail, the view can distract you. People show up, see the stunning view, and ignore that the street is collapsing, the roof is collapsing, and the neighborhood is half empty. You have to look at the inside, the structure, the surroundings, and the actual reality of living there, not just the drone shot. Next, Basilicata. Basilicata mistake number 1. Not planning for remoteness. Basilicata is underrated, and it's gorgeous in a quiet, authentic way. Some towns actively want foreigners to move in, but the lifestyle can be very different from what people expect. Services can be far. Internet might be limited in certain areas. Medical services and big supermarkets might require driving. This is not a problem if that's what you want, but it's a problem if you assumed you'd have city convenience in a mountain village. Basilicata mistake number 2, ignoring seismic and structural realities. Many older homes were built long before modern seismic standards. That doesn't mean you shouldn't buy them. It means you should inspect them and plan reinforcement if needed. It survived this long is not a technical assessment. That's a wish. Finally, Campania. Campania mistake number 1, underestimating regulation on the Amalfi Coast. Amalfi is not just expensive, it's also heavily protected, and permits can be complex. Many properties have had modifications over decades, terraces, balconies, extra rooms, and not all of them were done legally. This is critical. The notary handles the transaction, but compliance checks are not automatically guaranteed the way foreigners sometimes assume. You need your own professional to verify urban planning compliance and permits, especially in highly regulated areas like the Amalfi Coast. Campania mistake number 2, ignoring access and parking. This sounds small until it becomes your daily nightmare. Some Amalfi properties are reached by stairs. Sometimes, lots of stairs. Sometimes the kind of stairs that turn your grocery shopping into an Olympic event. Parking can be rare and expensive. If you're relocating, think about daily life, deliveries, luggage, older age, emergency access. This isn't just convenience, it affects how livable the property is. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest mistakes that spans all regions. Mistake: misunderstanding residency and taxes. There are first home tax benefits in Italy, and they can be substantial, but they usually require residency, and residency has consequences. If you register as resident, you might be stepping into a different tax situation. So don't do anything for a discount without understanding the full picture. A lot of foreigners focus on saving a few thousand at purchase and then accidentally complicate their tax life for years. If you're relocating permanently, that might be fine. If you're not, be careful. Another cross-region mistake: assuming the timeline will be fast. If you're from a place where you can buy a house in a few weeks, Italy may feel like it's running on a different operating system. Municipal offices, paperwork, compliance checks, translations, scheduling notaries. It takes time. Don't plan your move like, I'll buy in April and move in May, unless you're prepared for reality to disagree. And one more: renovation optimism. Foreigners often think, I'll renovate it quickly. Southern Italy can have contractor shortages, slow permitting, and material delays. Also, renovations are where communication issues can become expensive. If you don't speak Italian well, you'll want a local project manager or someone bilingual involved. Otherwise, you end up in a situation where your simple bathroom upgrade turns into why is there a wall missing? So what does a smart expat buying process look like? Here's the practical framework. Step 1. Choose the lifestyle first, then the house. Rent in the area if you can. Step 2. Shortlist properties only after you understand the neighborhood and infrastructure. Step 3. Hire independent professionals, lawyer and technical expert. Step 4. Verify documents, cadastral plans, permits, and compliance. Step 5. Inspect the building properly, especially older properties. Step 6. Calculate total cost with buffer. Step 7. Only then negotiate and proceed. It's not romantic, but it protects the romance. Because the goal is not just to buy a home. The goal is to buy a life you actually want to live. And if you do it right, Southern Italy gives you something rare. Time that feels slower, food that tastes like someone cared, and days that don't feel like you're racing a machine. If you want to change your life, to feel what it's like to wake up in a different country and build a new rhythm on purpose, subscribe to Almost Expat. You don't need perfection, you just need momentum and a little courage to go where life feels more alive. Before you go, tell me in the comments, which would you rather risk? A €1 house that comes with a surprise roof situation, or an Amalfi dream home that comes with 247 stairs and 0 parking?